The internet didn't just wake up today. It flatlined, rebooted, and came back screaming. Because out of every chaotic storyline hip-hop has delivered this decade, nothing prepared anyone for the moment T.I.'s son disrespected 50 Cent's late mother's grave. And the universe responded like a fire alarm. One reckless sentence, one viral clip, and the entire culture combusted harder than a Zeus reunion with free liquor. People weren't just shocked, they were spiritually offended. Then, like a hood folk legend stepping out of a smoke cloud, Jay-Z entered the chat. The man who rarely comments. The man who avoids mess like it's taxed at 90%. The man whose silence alone has more power than most rappers' entire discographies. Well, today, he broke that silence, and the internet collapsed like its Wi-Fi bill wasn't paid. His message wasn't angry. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't even long. But it carried the energy of a godfather reminding the room that respect isn't optional. Suddenly, everything shifted. Fans froze. Blogs malfunctioned. Rappers paused mid-lie in their stories. Because when Jay-Z speaks publicly, it means the situation has crossed every line imaginable. Meanwhile, T.I. scrambled like a man trying to contain a house fire with a Dixie cup, while his son acted like he still didn't. Understand the magnitude of insulting a man who built an entire career on holding grudges and collecting disrespect like trophies, but just when the world thought the drama had peaked, just when the grave comment, Jay-Z's warning, and 50 Cent's silence had reached maximum tension, someone else stepped into the storyline. Someone nobody expected. Someone with the power to flip the entire narrative upside down. The scandal ignited with the speed of a match hitting gasoline. One moment, social media was quiet, harmless, almost boring. The next moment, a clip of T.I.'s son, King Harris, flew across the internet like someone launched it from a slingshot. In the video, King made an offhand disrespectful comment about 50 Cent's late mother's grave. And instantly, the digital universe cracked. Fans gasped. Blogs screamed. The culture reacted like King had challenged every ancestor in hip-hop history at once. People replayed the clip repeatedly to make sure they heard it correctly. And yes, he really said it. Boldly, carelessly, shockingly. The level of disrespect was so outrageous that even people who normally mind their own business entered the conversation. Within minutes, the phrase 50 Cent's mother began trending nationwide. Memes appeared faster than facts. Commentators acted like they were at the Super Bowl of disrespect. The internet went from calm to chaotic with no warning when the video went viral. Everyone's first thought was simple. Where is 50? What is he about to do? Because 50 Cent is not just a rapper, he's hip-hop's undefeated petty champion. His trolling abilities are legendary. His comebacks are historic. His grudges are generational. So when he didn't immediately respond, the silence felt like a storm building. Fans whispered, "Oh, he's plotting. He's loading the cannon. This finna get ugly." The tension became entertainment. But instead of 50 striking first, something else completely unexpected happened. The next explosion came from Jay-Z, the global mogul who only intervenes when situations go from messy to morally catastrophic. Jay-Z is famously unbothered. He avoids public beef. He ignores petty drama. Yet somehow this time, King Harris crossed a line so deep it triggered Sean Carter himself to break silence. When Jay-Z's message dropped, it didn't drizzle, it thundered. He didn't curse. He didn't drag. He didn't raise his voice. But every syllable felt like a courtroom verdict. A line had been crossed. A boundary shattered. A level of disrespect reached that demanded correction. And Jay-Z, being the architect of modern hip-hop professionalism, stepped in as judge, jury, and disappointed uncle. The internet froze. People refreshed their screens like the message might disappear. Fans started analyzing every word Jay-Z used, every comma, every tonal implication. Blogs broke down his meaning like theologians decoding scripture. Some said he was speaking directly to T.I. Others believed it was a message for the entire younger generation. Either way, it hit harder than a diss track. Meanwhile, T.I. was scrambling. You could almost hear the panic in his responses. T.I.'s known for big vocabulary. Inspirational speeches, fatherly explanations, but none of that mattered now. His son's disrespect had triggered one of hip-hop's most powerful men, and disrespected the mother of one of the genre's most dangerous trolls. T.I. tried to defend his son with grace, yet the pressure was too heavy. Every statement he made was instantly dissected online like a lab experiment. King Harris, instead of apologizing immediately, did the opposite. He doubled down with youthful arrogance. He laughed on live. He brushed off criticism. He treated the backlash like background noise. And that only made the situation worse. Because the internet doesn't forgive arrogance, it multiplies outrage. Comments mocked him. Memes roasted him. People predicted he had unknowingly signed up for a feud far beyond his age. Old clips resurfaced of T.I. talking about discipline. Old interviews showing 50 shading T.I. popped back up. People pieced together fragments of history like detectives building a case. Rumors swirled that T.I. and 50 had low-key tension years earlier. Suddenly, everything felt connected. Every old interview became evidence. Every cryptic lyric became suspicious. Fans went full CSI mode. The hip-hop community reacted instantly. OGs stepped into the conversation, warning that disrespecting someone's mother, especially someone who passed, violates cultural rules deeper than music. A well-known Atlanta mentor posted, "Y'all play too much. That's somebody's mama. Dead or alive, that's sacred." That statement alone sent ripples of discomfort across timelines. For the first time, people weren't laughing, they were reflecting, but then the first leak dropped. A private conversation surfaced online from someone allegedly close to T.I.'s camp. The message claimed T.I. was furious behind the scenes, not only because of the disrespect, but because Jay-Z's involvement could affect business, relationships, and reputation. The leak claimed T.I. said, "This ain't just trolling, this serious." Whether it was real or not, it spread like wildfire. Fans insisted the drama had now crossed into industry politics. Meanwhile, 50 Cent finally broke silence, not with words but with a smirk. He posted a photo of himself sipping wine with the caption, "I love when people volunteer themselves." The internet erupted. Because 50 doesn't need paragraphs to deliver violence. He needs 3 words and a photo. His silence wasn't weakness, it was strategy. Then, tiny details began leaking everywhere. A recording surfaced of someone discussing Jay-Z's dissatisfaction privately. A screenshot from a friend of a friend suggested King's comment triggered emotional pain in 50's family. A message emerged claiming Beyoncé was aware of the drama, which made fans spiral even harder, because if Beyoncé is in the conversation, it's officially national news. The situation snowballed so dramatically that even other celebrities began chiming in. Some defended 50. Some defended T.I.'s parenting. Some told King to sit down before the industry teaches him a lesson he won't forget. The funniest reactions came from rappers who said, "A grave comment. Yeah, that boy's grounded for the next decade." But the drama wasn't over, not even close. More footage surfaced of King Harris in the hours after the scandal broke. He appeared irritated, defensive, and unaware he had offended deep emotional roots. Fans criticized him for lacking empathy and maturity. Others argued that being raised in fame distorts consequences. The internet debated psychology, parenting, legacy, and generational respect all at once. And then the most mysterious twist so far. New insider emerged claiming the disrespect was part of a bigger, deeper, long-standing tension between families. One that had never been made public. The insider wrote, "This didn't start with King, this goes way back. People are about to find out." And that is where the real story begins, because if there's one thing fans know, when Jay-Z steps in, 50 Cent goes silent, and insiders start whispering. Something massive is brewing. When that insider whispered, "This goes way back," the entire internet froze like someone hit a universal pause button. Suddenly, the grave comment wasn't just a disrespectful outburst. It became the trigger that cracked open a vault of old tensions between families, legacies, and titans of hip-hop. People immediately started connecting dots like conspiracy theorists with corkboards. They dug into old interviews, award show clips, backstage whispers, and every moment T.I., 50 Cent, and Jay-Z ever shared publicly. But the internet didn't just research, it detonated. Celebrities began reacting left and right as if this scandal was the Grammys of disrespect. Rap legends and rising stars alike chimed in with spicy commentary. One younger rapper tweeted, "50 don't play about his mama." Good luck to whoever crossed that line and instantly deleted it, but screenshots spread like wildfire. A reality TV star posted, "Jay stepping in means this ain't small, this generational," and fans treated it like gospel. Even comedians got involved, joking that King Harris unlocked the three bosses of rap volatility. But the reactions weren't all jokes. A respected OG from the West Coast posted a video saying, "Some things you don't touch." A mother's grave? That's beyond beef. His tone was serious enough to silence entire comment sections. People felt the weight of his words. People felt the weight of his words. The culture wasn't divided anymore. It was united in shock. Then came the memes. Because no matter how serious the scandal, the internet will always meme it. Edited videos surfaced of Jay-Z wearing Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet snapping King Harris into another dimension. Another meme showed 50 Cent typing a diss track on a computer engulfed in flames. Someone edited T.I. flipping open a dictionary trying to define boundaries. Even King Harris got memed. Portrayed as a cartoon kid poking a beehive labeled 50 Cent. But then the escalation hit Zeus network levels of messy. A new leak emerged, this time audio. Fuzzy, low quality, but intense enough to grab everyone's attention. In the clip, someone from T.I.'s circle claimed the family was tired of 50 Cent's trolling over the years, hinting that the grave comment was emotionally charged payback. Whether the audio was real or fabricated didn't matter. The internet treated it like scripture. Thousands of comments argued about whether there was a deeper feud between the families. Fans were laughing, crying, shocked, confused, somehow. All at once, T.I. tried to squash the rumors by going live. His voice had that signature preacher energy, switching between wisdom, frustration, and disappointment. He insisted his son had crossed a line, yes, but also claimed people were blowing things out of proportion. The problem? Every time he said something logical, King Harris popped up in the comments making faces or dropping emojis. The internet instantly screenshot it, and the memes doubled again. At this point, 50 Cent finally stepped back in. And when 50 enters a feud, he doesn't walk, he storms. He posted a photo of a gravestone with the caption, "Some lessons don't need teachers. Life handles it." The entire internet went silent for 10 full seconds. Then it exploded. Fans interpreted it as a direct threat. A warning, a prophecy, a poem, a diss track preview. Everything except a neutral statement. Blogs reposted it with headlines like, 50 Cent declares emotional war and gravestone post sparks fear. Even celebrities commented, "And oh, he's serious." Meanwhile, Jay-Z's silence was louder than anyone's words. People made entire threads analyzing why he hadn't commented again. Some said he was waiting to see how T.I. handled things. Others said he was already discussing the situation behind the scenes like a mafia don. One rumor even claimed ROC Nation. Executives were monitoring everything being posted, and right when things couldn't get wilder, enter Tiny, T.I.'s wife again. This time she dropped a cryptic message. Respect is earned, not inherited. Now this was the grenade that reignited the fire. People debated fiercely. Was she shading 50? Jay-Z? The critics? The culture? Her own son? The ambiguity only made the message go more viral. Fans across Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram argued like they were being scored for participation. Someone even started a Change.org petition titled, "Make King Harris Apologize," and thousands signed it within hours. But then, the biggest twist of Part 2 arrived. A major Atlanta insider, someone credible, someone respected, posted a chilling line. The kids don't know the history, but the parents do. That sentence hit harder than any diss track. Fans began speculating about a hidden feud from the early 2000s. Something unspoken, something deep. Old interviews resurfaced where 50 Cent subtly shaded T.I.'s business moves. Clips appeared where T.I. mentioned industry politics blocking opportunities. People connected dots that maybe weren't even dots. But that didn't matter. The algorithm lives as speculation, and yet, something strange happened. King Harris became quiet. Too quiet. He stopped posting.
He disappeared from lives.
The cocky energy vanished. Suddenly, he wasn't doubling down. He was gone. This shift made rumors worsen. Some claimed T.I. grounded him industry style, meaning no more publicity. Others believed he was meeting with PR teams. A few insisted Jay-Z himself had sent a private message to set boundaries. Then another twist hit. This time from someone entirely unexpected, 50 Cent's cousin. She went live. Visibly emotional, explaining how painful it was to hear disrespect aimed at a deceased mother. She didn't yell. She didn't insult. She just spoke from the heart about grief, legacy, and the pain of having someone mock the dead. Her raw emotion changed the tone of the entire timeline. For the first time since the scandal began, people stopped laughing. They stopped joking. They listened. Empathy entered the room. Even fans who had defended King earlier began understanding the emotional weight of the situation. Comment sections filled with apologies, sympathy, and demands that King publicly address the pain he caused. But before T.I. or King could respond, someone even more unexpected stepped in. An old G-Unit member, he wrote, 50 don't forget, ever, this ain't music. This personal. And that statement turned every meme into fear. Every joke into caution. Every theory into a prophecy. The internet began speculating whether 50 Cent was planning a full-blown career-ending clapback. Not through music, but through power moves. Fans predicted a docu-series, a radio interview, a business play. Or something even sneakier. The moment that final insider message dropped, y'all not ready for what happens next. The entire internet braced like it had just heard a weather siren. People weren't scrolling casually anymore. They were gripping their phones like a steering wheel during a tornado. Because when someone with real industry ties speaks that confidently, the expectation isn't drama. It's devastation. And everyone knew the blast radius of this scandal was about to widen in ways nobody predicted. For the first time since the chaos began, fans noticed that Jay-Z's silence had changed energy. This wasn't passive or indifferent. This was strategic. People whispered, he's watching everything. Others said, he's waiting for T.I.'s next move. Some believed Jay had already addressed the situation privately and was letting the industry police itself. Whatever the truth was, every hour he remained quiet added 10 new theories. His stillness felt like a warning shot echoing through the culture. Meanwhile, 50 Cent was no longer trolling. His posts shifted from petty to personal. He began sharing old photos of his mother, honoring her memory with captions that carried raw emotion beneath the sarcasm. It reminded fans that this wasn't a gimmick or a publicity stunt. This was pain mixed with disrespect. And 50 was choosing restraint, a terrifying choice from a man whose career thrives on retaliation. The contrast between his silence and his smirks made the tension electric. As for T.I., the weight of the industry began collapsing onto him like a building losing structural integrity. The backlash wasn't just online anymore. Radio hosts, podcast panels, and old-school hip-hop heads began speaking with a tone of disappointment instead of anger. They questioned the household, the upbringing, the respect taught, the boundaries lost. T.I. found himself trying to fight a battle on 3 fronts: public opinion, family reputation, and private emotions. No matter what he said, the narrative twisted against him. King Harris, the epicenter of everything, felt the shift harder than anyone. His sudden disappearance from social media didn't feel voluntary anymore. It felt enforced. Screenshots leaked of him texting friends about being on lockdown, and fans speculated T.I. had pulled him away from the internet to prevent further damage. But the silence didn't protect him. It amplified curiosity. People wanted answers, accountability, something beyond the half-lived arrogance he displayed earlier. Then the first emotional fallout hit. A clip resurfaced of 50 Cent speaking years ago about losing his mother. His face was calm, but his voice carried deep emotion, love, grief, trauma. Fans replayed it, tears forming, realizing the pain behind the man. Suddenly, the disrespect wasn't theoretical anymore. It was human, real, heavy, and the internet shifted from chaos to reflection. Even King's defenders fell silent, confronting the reality of what he'd said. But chaos wasn't done. a major journalist dropped an article claiming tensions between T.I. and 50 Cent dated back to a private business disagreement nearly a decade earlier, something involving touring contracts and public image. Although no one confirmed it, the story spread like a match dropped in gasoline. Fans treated it as proof that this drama wasn't just about a grave comment. It was about unsaid grudges, unfinished conversations, and long-term resentment. As the cultural storm raged on, a shocking moment occurred. Jay-Z's cousin spoke publicly. She didn't drop names, but she said, "Some elders protect this culture more than people realize. And when they speak, you listen." Those words felt like a spiritual slap across the internet. Everyone knew she was referencing Jay-Z and the gravity of his involvement. The comment became a turning point. This wasn't rap beef. This was lineage, ethics, and respect colliding. Then a new emotional tornado emerged. A woman claiming to be a close family friend of 50 Cent's mother posted a heartbreaking message about how deeply the comment hurt the family. She described the strength, resilience, and love 50's mother embodied. She explained how painful it was to hear her memory mocked publicly. Her voice cracking on live created a domino effect of empathy. The internet softened. Anger shifted into sorrow. Even people who had remained neutral felt a sting in their chest. T.I. saw the clip, and for the first time, his next message wasn't calculated or intellectual. It was raw.